Where do I look for?
Hey guys, what's going on? We are live right now. How are we doing? We're just setting this all up.
Yep.
What's up, Patrick? How we doing? What's up?
What up?
What's up, Tom, the great panda?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, we're just we're gonna tweet out some stuff, try to get some people in here, and then we're gonna get right to it, right? Just like the title says, we are fact checking RFK Jr. On the Joe Rogan Experience. We've gone through 21 claims so far, a bunch of truths, a couple of lies, and some things that might be plausible that we will reach out to the RFK team to see if they can cite their sources, get a little more information on it. But
yeah, and their lies.
And their lies.
Why you be lying?
Why? Or why you be misremembering something like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, do you guys want to go ahead and start?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead. What we're going to do, this is a live stream here. But we're going to start an intro for a video so I can edit this down and clip and make it real nice later. Get rid of all the awkward pauses while we're searching for stuff and have a nice clean video to produce to the masses. You guys ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
The official
All right, I'm ready.
Amp up of our podcast, always and forever. All right, guys.
we
really have been amping up for like 3 years. We've been like pumping ourselves up to that. Acapella, by the way, always acapella. True.
Very bad.
Yeah. Pitch and perfect. That's what we should be called.
Bad until it gets better again. That's how it works.
It's a sine wave of despair and hilarity.
All right, so you guys want to
do this? All right. Let's do a 3, a 2. Hey guys,
and
welcome.
1.
Oh my god damn you, Canadian.
You
Sorry. I forgot we were live. I did not mean to take the Lord's name in vain. No, wait, what do you mean and a 1 because we're live? You don't know how Hollywood works, you Toronto SOB? It goes 3, 2, the 1 is quiet. You don't know that? Oh my goodness. What do they teach you up there in Canada besides how to get free health care?
Consistency,
They only teach you how to act. They don't teach you the directing bit.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just so surprised. Toronto's been handing out that tax incentive money. Here, please come film in our city. Please disrupt our traffic. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with JRE or RFK.
All right, claim 22.
Just CAN. All right, no, we gotta do the intro. You ready for this?
What?
Yeah, a 3, 2. Hey guys, welcome back to Fact React. I've got Patrick with me over here. Yeah, we've been fucking live. Sorry, we've been live. You are killing me.
We've been live.
All right, so I told the audience this. Now I will tell my co-host this.
Okay,
we are live, but we are going to take the live segment and we're going to edit it.
Yeah, okay.
So I need to record an intro for the edit.
I got it.
Guys, our research is 10% more serious than we are right now. No, I'm kidding. You guys ready to do this? 3, 2, quiet fucking 1. I'm gonna stop cussing for the live or for the real edit.
You should stop cussing.
Yeah, I am, but we're live, so we can do that.
Monetized for all of our 3 cents.
I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for the truth. Boom. Tag that. Clip it. Put it on a short. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Fact React. I'm here with Patrick and Tom. We are checking out claims 22 through 26 today on RFK when he went to the Joe Rogan Experience. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Claim 22. Regulators prefer dead virus vaccines and they don't produce enough of an antibody response by itself. Now, Patrick, you went ahead and welcome back. We're glad you're here. We missed you a couple days ago. What research did you do? What can we find out about this?
Well, it's hard to say what they prefer. That's like a statement or like an opinion. But most of them.
Wait, is it?
I
feel like if you have like, look, if I make 100 sandwiches and they're all peanut butter and grape jelly, I think you could say I have a preference for grape jelly over strawberry jelly.
Yeah,
you could,
right? Just something to think about. What were we saying?
I would say, I guess in that sense, they do prefer them. Most vaccines are dead virus vaccines, and that's because, like we've talked about before a little bit, the oral oral polio vaccine is a live virus, and it occasionally causes outbreaks because it can mutate and then become.
It can be spread a little bit more if it's a non-live virus.
That's one of these live annotated vaccines.
It
uses a weakened or annotated form of the germ that causes the disease.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It actually infects you with the live ones.
Right.
With the dead version, you more or less just kind of see the deteriorated and dead cells, and then your body kind of develops antibodies. It picks it up. Yeah.
And then you get the antibodies, and then you can protect yourself from a real live virus.
Yeah.
The Department of Human Health and Services calls it an inactivated virus.
And so then he said that
if you're trying to
they don't produce enough of an antibody response by them itself, and so they do add, I think it's called adjuvants. And one of the adjuvants is, I think it's aluminum sulfate. I think we get into that a little bit later here. Is it on these slides? Maybe not. But, so yeah, I would say this entire claim is true then.
Okay.
They do prefer dead virus vaccines, and they don't produce as much of an antibody response by themselves, so they add adjuvants. That is all true.
Yep. Cool.
And claim number 23. If you add something very dangerous, toxin mercury, to a dead virus, then the body associates the toxin with the dead virus and it fights it. They don't use mercury, but they do. Oh yeah, this is where it is. They do use aluminum. Aluminum is used in vaccines as an adjuvant, and I think it's the only metal that's allowed so far been approved.
Metal or heavy metal? Isn't mercury a heavy metal?
Yeah, mercury is not approved as an adjuvant.
No, but it is approved in the vaccine.
It's approved, like we talked about
as
before,
a preservative?
As a preservative in multi-vial vaccines. So if they take out multiple doses out of one vial,
right,
then they put some mercury in their thimerosal.
Yeah. Okay. So
which breaks down into a form of mercury.
Yeah, it's a ethyl mercury.
That seems misleading, though. At the very least, to be like the only metal adjutant in this vaccine is aluminum. But that's because the mercury is labeled as something else. Like that's kind of
necessary part of the vaccine, because you can get single dose vaccines.
For the flu shot,
don't have any.
It's the preservative portion of it for the multi-dose vial.
Now, but like,
so it's not necessary as an adjuvant.
Right. Yes. So, like for the flu shot, we found specifically there were some without mercury and some with mercury. But what about for the rest? Like, let's flashback like 2 years to the end of the lockdowns and stuff when things were getting less crazy, right? And like the U.S. government was freaking out because we had just warehouses full of the mRNA vaccine that were about to go bad, right? So like, I know that preserving the vaccines is important for, I mean, all business. You want to keep your stock for as long as possible from going bad, so you use preservatives or whatever. So that's what I'm wondering there. It's like, so you see what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, be like, this is the only metal as an adjutant. However, we have these other metals in here. Sometimes when methyl mercury is
when
involved,
it's needed.
When thimerosal, aka methyl mercury, is needed, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, but every nurse that I've talked to in the last 10 years, I guarantee you, if I ask you, does this have preservative or non-preservative, they wouldn't know the answer.
Well, they know if it's a single dose or a multi-dose.
I could ask that.
Yeah.
One time I got my blood drawn, and I was like, what is this for? And she was like, I'm not sure. I'm just here to draw blood. And I was like,
I just take blood out of
I was like, oh.
I don't ask questions. I don't know where it goes.
Okay.
I put it in the tray back there, and just it disappears. I don't fucking know. Could be vampires.
So what do we find about this?
Yeah, and if you can, nothing. That is true, but they don't use mercury. If he said that, but it's in quote or parentheses, so I don't know if that was a direct quote.
So if you add something very dangerous, toxin, mercury, to a dead virus, then the body associated with toxin with the dead virus fights it. So that's true. That is the idea behind the dead body virus. Right? You put something toxic in there, and your immune system associates that toxin with the virus and attacks it. So whenever the virus comes up, it thinks it's negative. I think the controversy is
work, but it's just not as well because you don't produce as much immune response to a dead virus.
Right.
So to increase the immune response, which will increase the antigen uptake and memory of your immune system, they put in stuff like aluminum, but mercury is not used as an adjuvant.
But that's according to them.
But you can get it without mercury.
Okay. Yes. Oh wait. Wait a second. You're saying you can get. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna catch up to your brilliance real fast. You're saying it's not about the mercury as an adjutant because you can get dead body vaccines without the mercury because it uses aluminum as an adjutant.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm caught up. Do we have any specific examples?
Yeah, all of Australia uses zero thimerosal in all of their.
I love Australia
vaccines.
They're really on top of this kind of.
Not just that, but just they're great.
I've come across them a few
US
times.
Isn't, but you can definitely check and ask, and it's possible to have no thimerosal used in your childhood vaccination schedule. So that's an option that you have because Australia does it.
If not, we're gonna clip this, and then we're gonna clip the video of me being on the local news getting arrested in the hospital in my local hospital. Now, okay. So if that happens, it happens. If not, then Patrick's right. Go check back in 6 months. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see about that.
Yeah. So it's not a necessary part of the vaccine. Like aluminum sulfate would be, or whatever.
Okay, but he's not saying it's necessary. He's just saying if you add something deadly, toxin, mercury. All right, so this is a true statement.
True.
Yeah, okay, so this is a true statement.
I was just saying that.
Mr. Nuance, thank you.
Well, it says mercury in the parentheses. So if he said mercury, then that's false. But they do use adjuvants. That is true. And I have more stuff on
vaccinologists
down here.
Here, let's actually, if you want to pause for a second, let's hear exactly what he said. Let's hear exactly what he said.
Out that if you add something horrendously toxic to the vaccine,
if you add something horrendously toxic to the vaccine, that your body confuses the toxic product.
You add it with the dead antigen, which is the viral particle. Your body confuses that toxin with the viral particle and gets frightened and mounts this huge, humongous.
I use the word mercury. That's on me.
Next time it sees that virus.
I'm glad I double checked. I'm glad I wanted to double check on that.
Yeah. It didn't imply that.
Yes. He's talking about mercury the whole time. Now he's talking about toxins. He didn't name it by name, so I added mercury in parentheses.
He even outright says, he goes, they use it as a preservative reportedly, but that's actually for an adjuvant. I think
we have a claim check on that.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that? Make sure to like and subscribe. Go find that.
It's
the last video.
Just as a little tidbit, it's about the same as 1 quart or 32 fluid ounces of infant formula. I guess there's aluminum also in the formula. So.
Okay, what is? All right, one thing at a time. There's also aluminum.
Aluminum isn't great for your body either.
No,
it's too much.
So for those just tuning in, I'm about as like Viking as you can get. Without being Viking, like I'm here to conquer. Like I've got very just like rough skin. I can eat and drink anything in the world. I can eat raw meat. I have zero allergic reactions to anything in the world except aluminum and deodorant. I put aluminum deodorant on and like my armpits turn into like just rings of fire. And that's a baby pun because I am an expecting dad. Let's move on.
Yeah. Actually, I got some tingling, but only if I used, I think it was Old Spice, and they're like one of the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get Tom's. It doesn't have any aluminum in it or whatever.
I like that. That's cool. Hey, wouldn't it be ironic if like Axe body
There's
spray
a lot that don't have aluminum in it, though.
What?
There's quite a few nowadays that don't have aluminum in it.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, you definitely get like aluminum free.
So the half-life
which is why I have
of
to do
aluminum
now.
is also 24 hours. It's not nearly as toxic as like mercury or lead or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
how much?
You have a lot of aluminum exposure from like tinfoil and everything that you use in a lot of cookware has aluminum in it.
Right, but like we're talking again about prenatal or just natal, right? Like baby exposure when your immune system is crap. So like, the aluminum foil, right? Yeah, you're not putting a tinfoil hat on your head. But here's this: the aluminum foil has a half-life of 24 hours. My question would be, how long does it take for damage to be done to the body?
I'm not sure about the toxicity of aluminum. We didn't cover that.
No, that's guys. We'll look at if you guys comment, tweet at us. If you guys care, we'll do this as a side quest. We'll tweet out some facts for that. Okay, let's move on to the next claim here, which I will add now. All right, scientists searched across the world for the deadliest toxins to add to vaccines. Now, Patrick, you said this was false and disturbingly alarmist.
Yeah, I just think it's a really weird thing to say. It's super, like, I don't know, pointed towards one thing.
It is alarmist, but also
not the deadliest toxins you can find, because then they would be adding mercury to it instead of aluminum.
They did add mercury to it through Marisol,
but not
for a long time. For a very long time.
Necessary part of the vaccine.
How do scientists pick?
And here's this article on all the adjuvants that are approved that I have.
Can you read some out while I'm searching something?
This is about adjuvants, yada yada. Oops, blah blah blah. Okay, here it is. Yeah, mineral salts were approved in 1930. Alum salts, hydroxide alum, calcium phosphate, emulsions. Let's see, they have immunoadjuvants. I mean, there's a lot of science stuff. I'm not a chemist. Neuramyl dipeptide receptors. Then they go on to like you can get some microsomal or microparticles like liposomes as adjuvants. It seems like, or these are the release system. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
I've got a
mercury is not one of them. Neither is like lead or
I've got a National Library of Medicine, right, for the NIH over here, talking about methods to study viruses and growing viruses. Viruses replicate only within living cells. Thus, many early studies of viruses were done in bacteria or plants. Tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, was an early model virus, as it replicates in a variety of plants, blah, blah, blah. The early study of animal viruses were limited to using whole animals. When possible, animal pathogens were adopted to small animals such as mice, rats, and rabbits. Moving on, fertile eggs and ducks were also used in the 40s and 50s. The development of robust cell cultural techniques were revolutionized the study of animal viruses. So it seems to collaborate with what you were saying, Patrick.
Yep.
They did not hop on and go to the furthest plane ticket and ask to cough in a
they're not
and a tissue for them.
Deadly poisons possible.
I got another one there that kind of goes over like the specific antigens that they add into it.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah, I just added it on the slide there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. 349. I had 479.
Oh.
What about 369?
369.
Damn thing's fine. What's going on with these vaccines? What's on my mind?
This is like similar to what I said, but just presented in a different way.
Exactly.
That like test, and it has like a timeline as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, aluminum, some sort of antagonist from all this stuff that I don't understand because I'm not a chemist.
Yeah.
Combined adjuvants.
Emulsions, I was just reading. Yeah.
Heat libel, ketosan. Anyway, they use alum salts in I think all of the
current
ones pretty much, and obviously, I mean the claim is kind of ridiculous. They didn't search for the deadliest toxins possible.
No, yeah, I agree with the false.
Prove us wrong, RFK. We will be reaching out, sending an email to your team. I'd love to hear what exactly you're talking about, because he's not just going to be like, what an outrageous claim. They went around looking for the deadliest things. I mean, they came back with anthrax.
Yeah.
Right. They came back with my ex-wife. You're talking about the deadliest things on the planet.
Anthrax in all your vaccines. Red flag. Whoa.
All right, guys, let's move on.
I want the vaccine. I'm just deathly afraid of Major's wife.
As you should be.
All right. This was an interesting one. We were curious about this one. So we made the slide yellow on the way through. There was some reason, and it was notable.
What a Canadian we that was.
That was me.
That was you. You made the slide yellow. I, for a second, thought that you had infected this slide with a dead body vaccine, and it had gotten yellow fever.
Yeah, so when I researched this, there are toxicology reports for preclinical vaccine trials.
Done by toxicologists? Did you check their LinkedIn profile?
That's a good point. I don't know for sure, but it would seem that a toxicology report would be done by a toxicologist.
You would think so, but wasn't the EPA headed by an oil lobbyist for the last couple of years?
That's true. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible.
Oof.
Don't read anything political into that. I'm just tired of bullshit.
I mean, it is bullshit.
It's such bullshit.
It's total bullshit. It's like letting
there's a lot of bullshit
be in charge of the DEA. Yeah, so that's as far as I got. I don't know, it seems false to me. I mean, it would be interesting if we could find proof that they're not using toxicologists. That would be a big red flag, but
yeah.
I guess we should look up for they would be part of the.
Oh, here's in the NIH the preclinical toxicology of vaccines by Indy Green. Oh, that just shows more it works. Doesn't give a bio. That's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look up a specific one and then see if they had a licensed toxicologist on there, I guess.
I guess all we need is one, though, right? Proof by contradiction. One of my favorite proofs.
And for some reason, we do have maybe look pre-1932 in there as well.
Well, if there's toxicologists
after
for free licensing processes for vaccines specifically.
To ensure the safety of new vaccines, preclinical toxicology studies are conducted prior to the initiation of, concurrently with, clinical studies. Ugh, concurrently with? That's trash. Hey guys, take this, and at the same time we're going to study its toxicology effects on you. No, I like to know how toxic something is before I ingest it. There are 5 different types of preclinical toxicology study in the evaluation of vaccine safety. Single and or repeat dose, reproductive and developmental, mutagenicity, carcinogenicity, and safety pharmacology. Successful preclinical toxicology studies depend on multiple factors, including using the appropriate study designs, the right animal model, and invoking an effective immune response. FDA regulation for preclinical toxicology studies of vaccines require the components to be tested for any adverse effects. I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Things should be tested for adverse effects.
That is the point of a toxicology report.
Yeah, that's true. So are we officially claiming this as false then?
If anyone has any information on where they did a toxicology report and didn't use a toxicologist or something, like, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I would definitely like to know if something was done. Oh, wow. So my webcam's just slowly been slipping backwards. I'm back now. We're doing it live. Unless you're watching this on YouTube in that case. Whoops.
It's live.
It was live. Wait a second. Okay. Approaches to conduct and interpret vaccinations. This is by Sage Journals. Never heard of them. Scientific and regulatory policy committees points to consider. Oh, I am. This is committees is where it's about. Let's see what they're doing about toxicology. Until the 1990s, there was until the 1990s, there was little regulatory guidance on vaccine development. The first comprehensive non-clinical pharmacology and toxicology prophylactic vaccine regulatory guideline was issued in 1997 by the European Medical Agency. That's a source cited. Let's see this right here. Okay. Just for those playing along at home. Which has subsequently been replaced by the World Health Organization's guidance documents on assessment for vaccine safety. This is the same WHO who refuses to recognize Taiwan as a country.
I mean, why should the WHO do that, though? It has nothing to do with...
Well, and...
World Health, really.
I mean, during a global pandemic, when you're trying to find out... COVID stats on a specific country, and you're asking about Taiwan, who notoriously kicked the crap out of.
Wow!
Didn't they? Was that South Korea or Taiwan? Sorry if I can't remember which one. But like, one of them did really well, right? But like, there was that WHO meeting where the journalist was asking about Taiwan, and the World Health Organization guy just ended the phone call instead of answering a question about Taiwan. All right. So, like, look, when the WHO is in that deep of the pocket of China, and China makes 99% of the fentanyl, and who knows how much of the vaccines that we buy, like, you know, you can ask questions. I think it's okay to ask questions.
Yeah.
But
it's very interesting how everything is structured whenever you actually start to look at things, you know?
Oh yeah, it's a green pyramid that points to the top, and all the money's flowing upwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a giant Dyson vacuum just sucking all the money upwards. Guidelines specifically address the use of adjuvants in vaccines, include a WHO guidance and an EMA guidance.
But this is for non-clinical pharmacology, or non-clinical trials.
Well, I mean, So, no. This is for the regulatory committees, for the WHO and the EMA.
But not for the U.S. or individual countries, I would guess.
That's good. No, I guess not. So, yeah, pretty useless, I guess. Sorry, scientific journal. Useless. What? If you are a toxicologist and have worked on a vaccine, please reach out with your CV and a pay stub. We would love to evaluate that.
Let's just say this is false until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we can look into it a little bit more.
You want to say plausibly false?
Plausibly false. Because they do toxicology reports now. Are those toxicology reports done by toxicologists? Would be interesting. Or is it done by the son of a pharma exec?
Yeah.
You son of a pharma exec.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right. So claim number, what are we on? 26.
This will be 26 coming up. Yeah.
Yep. Ethyl mercury is excreted.
Hold on a second. Can we pause? Can we squeeze me for a second? I found this. I don't have a problem with this. It's all public information. And look at that smile. Look how nice that guy looks. Douglas Donahue. He's the senior director, the global head. He's so happy. He's probably making like
a little bow tie too.
He's probably making like $1 million a year, like $500,000 a year. He's so happy in that picture.
This toxicology report looks great.
The global head of vaccine technology and the GSK fellow. So I joined the GSK vaccine toxicology group in 2021. At the very bottom under experience, it says not a toxicologist.
In biological sciences.
Internal Journal of Toxicology. He was the editorial board. Experience. Staff science, non-clinical toxicology. Non-clinical, though. Patrick just ruled out non-clinical.
Oh, shit.
Eat your words. Toxicology study director.
Study director.
Study director. Study director.
I think he seems qualified as a toxicologist. Seems like.
Look, I think you're a toxicologist. Yeah, you're the senior head of global. Look, you're a vaccine toxicologist. No, there's got to be at least one toxicologist on a department for the global. Even if it's not the global head, right? Somewhere in GSK's vaccine toxicology department, there has to be someone who's a toxicologist, right?
Yeah.
Plausibly false. Let's move on.
I mean, what even makes you a toxicologist?
I don't know.
Going to school for toxicology.
What makes you a mathematician? Is it a degree or
biological? Yeah, I don't think it's a degree. The degree was technically what was this? It was
science.
Biological medicine. Or...
Probably science. It was just a BS in science. Getting a BS in science is probably a good way to start your vaccine career.
All right. Claim 26. Ethyl mercury is excreted very quickly.
That's my fault.
Were they saying? It is sort of true. It depends on what you say is quick. It's quicker than methyl mercury, and
yes,
there's actually a really good.
It's about 10 times difference we looked into.
We found that yesterday. Go back and watch that. We'll pull up the clip here, but we go into great detail in the last episode.
Right, and then coming up, there's also another claim that he made related about a study that was really good for infant monkeys, and it showed the difference between ethyl and methyl mercury, and where it goes, like specifically, like they took the brain tissue, the blood, and so like to test where it's going. I think it might be in one of these articles that I linked as well. Oh yeah, here it is. They did a study on rats in this one, and the ethyl mercury was found primarily in the kidneys, whereas methyl mercury goes more to the brain. Out of
interesting.
Whereas it is worse, and so whereas the brain contributed the least of this mercury, about 1%. Most of it goes to the kidneys and then is excreted in like 10 days, I think, is the half-life of it.
Interesting.
So yeah, it is quicker than methyl mercury, and it works a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll take the Australian approach still, even if they say it's safe. No reason not to.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It's so fucking stupid. I fucking hate shit.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
That's why capitalism shouldn't be involved in healthcare, because it shouldn't be about how much money you have. Yeah. And I don't know, it just works for everybody. Anyway. Yeah. Plastic surgery, yeah. Charge all you want. Well, I mean, it doesn't make. Yeah. Well, the reason it isn't is because people don't need plastic boobs to survive, and that's the problem. It's great for capitalists if you love money, but if you have a soul, you don't want to charge somebody so much that they have to starve or die of, diabetes, lose a leg, whatever, because they can't afford the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you have to buy it, so it's not really a good thing for capitalism anyway. Right.
Right.
Which is starting right now.
Boop, boop. And we're on claims number 27 through 32 and 33.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
Yep.
Claim.
Must stay hydrated. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. This is Tom. We are continuing to debunk the Joe Rogan experience whenever Robert F. Kennedy was on. Made a bunch of egregious claims, and we're going through it. Egregious.
I don't know. They are controversial. That one.
I went with egregious. Leave me alone.
I would say egregious.
I actually was, yes.
I don't know.
So far.
What was the
only egregious claim so far, Major?
I would say when he said that, the first thing I was thinking was that scientists searched across the world for the deadliest toxins to add to vaccines.
Yeah, there's been a couple egregious claims. Egregious. Leave me alone.
I am.
I guess.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I hope he clarifies every single one of the things we're saying is false. I hope he does.
Like we brought up before.
1,000 times worse is a lot worse.
It is. Yeah, 10. If you took the lowest dose that starts to affect you of mercury and compare it to the highest, like your dead dose of lead, then it was 10 times. Just to give them the benefit of the doubt, how much could Oh, the Japan poisoning. They had like all the poisonings. Yeah. I mean, that was an acute case though. And Iran, right? Yeah. Well, it was a small group of people, it wasn't widespread. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't find any study from Picario in 2003 or otherwise. And actually, I think I went back to the thing to make sure that this was spelled correctly. Couldn't find anything. I can't find anything about that name at all. But 2 weeks is about right.
I did find a PubMed publication in 2004
mercury
from Joanna Berger.
Tuna would be methyl mercury, so 2 weeks is wrong. Ethyl mercury is about 2 weeks. Methyl mercury, I think it's 50 days. And that's what's in tuna.
The FDA includes a draft advisory on tuna.
Yes. We've covered that before as well.
Yeah, I know.
Tuna isn't great, and for pregnant women and children, try to avoid mercury as much as possible, but once you're older, doesn't matter that much. I'm not seeing anything on their featured scientists from the CDC. That was in 2003, so that was 20 years ago. Man, 20 years ago, 2003.
Interesting. Specifically 2003, though, eh?
Yeah, I looked also for 2003 studies on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for. Just broad scoping, not non-Picario even.
2003, yeah.
Got like a 2005.
Here's study canned tuna mercury risk 2003 Montpellier, Vermont. No mention of Picario or anybody kind of about that name though.
Yeah.
This one from 2003 is about tuna and indicates 1 in 12 women of childbearing age have unsafe mercury levels. I mean, that's just because don't eat tuna if you're pregnant. I mean, they've said that before.
Yep. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, so
it didn't exist, so I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, but it does look like there are a bunch of studies about it, though.
There are studies about it. Couldn't find anything by this one scientist. Methyl mercury has a half-life, I think, of about 50 days. Ethyl mercury, or 10 days. I think 7 to 10.
Yeah, so like I don't know, we looked at that, but I would say the less than 2 weeks is accurate.
Well, not if it's tuna.
Not if it's tuna though. You're right. It's 70 days.
Tuna sandwich. So
yeah,
I would say that's false, verifiably. Yeah, and could not find any CDC scientist called Picario. So, all right, moving on. Claim number 28. The NIH commissioned a study by Thomas Verbacher, Seattle, study with monkeys. So yeah, I mentioned this in the last little clip. Ethyl mercury from vaccines left in blood in a week. Methyl mercury in tuna sandwiches stayed in the system. However, when killed, the monkeys found methyl mercury still in the brain. Yes, technically true. The best type of true. Yep, just trying to read what I wrote because it was complicated. But as I remember, it is found in the brain, but the dosage, or it was still getting taken out of the brain pretty rapidly. Yes. Yeah, the MAEHG is the methyl mercury. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess maybe I misread this claim that it's misleading. Because yeah, the ethyl mercury and methyl mercury do go into the brain, and I think I thought that he was saying that ethyl mercury and thimerosal is still in there. There's a lot more methyl mercury that builds up. The thimerosal gets created out more quickly. Yep.
Yep. Hmm.
methyl mercury.
Yeah.
Tuna. Right. This is the monkey one. Yeah, it's good. It's a good one because it's a monkey and they took brain samples. It's not as good because it was a pretty short study. I think they only did what, 4 weeks or something. How many weeks? Not that long. Yeah. And so they didn't get to see the full methyl buildup, but methyl definitely, just like we were talking about with the half-life, it builds up a lot more, 3 to 4 times, I think they said in the study. And ethyl gets excreted more quickly. And ethyl mercury is what's in thimerosal. That being said, if you're having 72 doses of vaccines and they all contain thimerosal, it can still not be good for you. So yeah, right. Yeah, it's sad. They killed a lot of baby. It was kind of, I didn't want to read this study. It was kind of brutal. Yeah, being a baby monkey in the hands of a scientist is not a good time. Yeah, fate shit. Very sad. My favorite. Yeah, so there was a meeting and Robert F. Kennedy did talk about it, and it was published by the Rolling Stone and Salon magazine. And it focused on the Simpson-Wood meeting as part of a conspiracy to withhold false vaccine. The article was removed. Salon made multiple corrections, claimed numerous major factual errors on Kennedy's part. In 2011. Yeah, so it came out in 2005. By 2011, it was completely removed. They made multiple corrections over that time. I think RFK said that he gave like a 200-page report or something, and they only published 30 pages of it or something like that. He claims his original article had no factual errors. I don't know how that's possible if they made all these corrections, and even if they had a cut version of it. Has never been sent any scientific data refuting his article, and that corrections were made due to editing errors on Salon's part, who reduces his original paper to 1/3. I couldn't find the original paper. Anywhere you go that has it posted or where to find it, they've all been removed. And wow. I think that was partially because of all the anti-vax silencing during COVID.
Right. Could you find it on the Wayback Machine?
I didn't check that, actually.
You want to check out a Wayback Machine?
Yeah, let's go to the Wayback Machine. You see if we can look up Rolling Stones 2005. I'll see if I can find an actual date.
Can you find a link and then we'll...
Yeah, so that was the most concerning part of it, is that everything had been scrubbed clean of the internet. Could not find the original at all. If you have like a paper version of it, you can still have it.
Tweet us. Poltergeist V. If you have that article, just take a picture. Tweet at us.
June 20th, 2005 issue of Rolling Stone, and the title was Deadly Immunity.
Let's see. It looks like I need an HTTP, but let me just type in Deadly Immunity and see what comes up.
Yeah.
Well, you could go to Rolling. Well, maybe we need a prescription for that though.
A prescription? You need to be prescribed?
Yeah. To read the vaccine. You could do rollingstone.com. And then the Wayback Machine. I don't see any subscription. Free articles. I don't know if the Wayback Machine does.
Oh, all right. So here's the rollingstone.com. What did you say, 2005?
Yeah, July 20th. One second. June 20th.
June 20th. Here we go. Yeah. All right, baby. We got 2 snapshots. Oh, there goes my webcam again. Here. I don't have a drum roll, but I have a cheer.
Way back to 2005.
Beautiful. Look at this. Look at this 2005 architecture.
This is it right here. Where do we go from here? How do you use this bad boy?
Dial up, actually.
The speed of sound.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2 stars. Batman Begins, 3 stars. Wow.
Yeah.
Jessica Alba in her prime, I guess.
I guess maybe go / Deadly Immunity. Or can you search it?
Deadly Immunity.
No.
This page is available on the web. What? Wow, this is...
No, that's just a regular...
I don't even think that's Billie Eilish. Yeah.
What?
You could try Salon.
What's that?
Salon.com.
Are you telling me to get a haircut?
Yeah. Politically progressive liberal news. It's been removed from the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Who?
You know you're on Modern Day.
Yeah, I just got sucked into clickbait articles. I was like, what else is the fucking Rolling? What else is the darn Rolling Stone?
Billie Eilish is hot.
Yeah, what? She's got such a baggy tee and a cool swag.
There you go, Major. Go back to the slide quick. I just put the link there for you.
Thank you, sir. Down here at the bottom.
Yep.
I was born to lead, not to read. Well, shout out to the Wayback Machine.
Boom. This one's Web Archive, but I guess it's Wayback Machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, in 2000.
Let's all reach this, or read this on live.
Here, I will. All right. In 2000, a group of top government scientists and health officials gathered for a meeting at the isolated Simpson Wood Conference Center in Norcross, Georgia. Convened by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the meeting was held at this Methodist retreat center, nestled in the wooded farmland next to the Cachatuchee River, to ensure complete secrecy. The agency has issued no public announcement of the session, only private invitations to 52 attendees. They were high levels from the CDC and the Food Drug Administration, the top vaccine specialists from the World Health Organization in Geneva, and representatives from every major vaccine manufacturer, including GlaxoSmithKline, Merck, Wyeth, and Aventis Pasteur. All the scientists' data under discussion, CDC officials repeatedly reminded the participants, was strictly embargoed. Air quotes. Or actually, these are actual quotes because we're reading an article here. There would be no making of photocopies of documents, no taking papers with them when they left. The federal officials and industry representatives had assembled to discuss a disturbing new study that had raised an alarming question about the safety of a host of common childhood vaccines administered to infants and young children. According to a CDC epidemiologist named Tom Verstraeten, who had analyzed the agency's massive database containing the medical records of 100,000 children, a mercury-based preservative in the vaccines, thimerosal, appeared to be responsible for a dramatic increase in autism and a host of other neurological disorders among children. I was actually stunned by what I saw.
You know what's
Verstraeten told these assemblers at Simpson Wood. What?
Is that what we were talking about earlier, which is they didn't have any toxicology, whatever, until 1990s?
Yeah, in toxicology reports.
And then this came out in 2000.
Dun, dun, dun. Or I guess, should we just be like, dumb, dumb, dumb?
Dumb, dumb, dumb. Or you
Since
remember,
1991. Hold on. Oh, go on. Yeah. What's your favorite?
I was just going to say that my favorite thing they did with this, not Scientologists, Church of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, with the thing, South Park, they were dum da dum 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 da dum 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 until that one.
At the end, it's like smart.
Yeah. Great. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. They also wrote the Book of Mormon. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic musical. Since 1991, when the CDC and the FDA had recommended that 3 additional vaccines laced with the preservative being given to extremely young infants, in one case within hours of birth, the estimate number of cases of autism increased 15-fold, from 1 in every 2,500 children to 1 in every 166. Which, keep that in mind, because I think he says 1 in 33 later on. I could be wrong about that.
Who says 1
in 33? I think RFK says that one later on, but I could just be misremembering. There's literally over 150 claims that we tracked on this.
Wow.
He says in the next couple slides, 1 in 300.
1 in 300? Okay, so I was off by a decimal. Forgot to carry the period. But that's huge. What is this? This is actual journalism. Like, so what do you do here? What, like, this is just the Rolling Stone. So do I either take this? Do I take this seriously? Do I take this seriously and be concerned that they slowly took this off the internet, or do I just disregard everything the Rolling Stones ever said after that? Also, it's important to note that we hinted at this earlier, but it is a real thing. Like Operation Mockingbird, the CIA had employed over 400 operatives in multiple
countries.
No, in America, multiple news organizations, and this was first reported to you by the Rolling Stone.
Yeah, in Salon.
The government has proved to be more adept at handling the damage than at protecting children's health.
Are you getting the one from June 26, 2007? It could have been edited.
No, this is the 2000.
This is 2005, June 2020.
It's posted on 2005, but this webpage is 2007.
Oh, this webpage is 2006.
2006, and it came out in 2005.
Yeah.
Because they made changes to it. That was part of the...
Oh, well, if we go down here to the bottom, they should...
scroll down and say if it's...
They should note what they correct.
Yeah,
Clarification. After publication of the story, Salon and Rolling Stone corrected an error that misstated the level of ethyl mercury received by infants injected with all their shots by the age of 6 months. It was 170 micrograms, ? in about 40%, not 187 times greater than the EPA's limit for daily exposure to methyl mercury. What trash journalism if that's an actual correction. Is that 187 grams or 187 times the local limit?
Yeah.
Well, if 1 microgram is the limit, then both are true.
Oh my God! Look, I got a degree in math. I know how numbers work. Okay, I don't need some Canadian shill trying to fucking be a patsy for some incompetent bloke at the Rolling Stones.
Shit, I just realized Tom's a CIA agent.
Oh, hey guys, if we're all in a simulation, then it doesn't really matter at all what we do here, guys. Hold on. Since that earlier correction, however, it's become clear from responses to the article that the 40% number, while accurate, is misleading. That's right. You can just tweet at journalists long enough and they will change their stories. I know Twitter wasn't around in 2005, guys. I'm being hyperbolic here. It measures the total mercury load an infant receives from vaccines during the first 6 months. I don't know, man. Why can't we just be Australian and be like, the total mercury load for my baby is 0?
Major, just for reference, you're only off by about a year there. Twitter was made in 2006.
Oh, well, I got lucky. Yeah.
You did.
No. Twitter was made in 2023.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever. Let's go. Whatever. The story also inadvertently omitted a word and transposed 2 sentences. This is just crap journalism. The story inadvertently omitted a word and transposed 2 sentences in a quote by Dr. John Clements and incorrectly stated that Dr. Sam Katz held a patent with Merck on the measles vaccine.
You did allude to this earlier. It is the Rolling Stones. Do you trust this?
That's good.
I mean, the claim is true. There was a secret meeting in Simpsons Woods. No one ever said anything about that.
Yep.
But if RFK would like to furnish us with his original full manuscript, we will check it.
Yes. I will read it in my most dramatic voice possible.
He said that there was a bunch of no edits, no reductions. We'll put it out there.
Yeah.
Wait.
So we can
do you guys? Well, can we turn it into a screenplay? Can we write out the parts? Like, I will turn this into a screenplay. If RK sends it to me, I will faithfully adapt this into a screenplay. So this will be brought to the main stage.
The Simpsons Wood meeting.
Yes.
That would be pretty great.
Wait, all right. If anyone else is interested in recreating the Simpsons Wood meeting, but with the genre of Alex Jones sneaking into Bohemian Groves, I think that would be. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen the video, but I'm familiar with the fact that he did it. So like that seems like the perfect genre to like to like kind of mockumentary source. Let's do that for Simpson Wood. Also, very scary stuff. What a secret meeting.
Well, I mean, not that scary because it happens all the
time. Murders happen all the time. I'm still pretty scared of getting shot.
Nah, I'm
getting shot full of mercury.
I'm just zen with the world. There's no power that I have. I've just relinquished all.
Namaste, unvaccinated. I'm just kidding. That's a pun, guys. That's it. So this is true.
Doing some shady shit. They've always done that.
Look, so basically, since we
worried about bad news for you.
Since we pour tea into the river, we have been doing some shady shit.
That's true.
I don't know what's going on.
I like how, like, right after there was another tax problem or tax riot or whatever. Shut them right down. It's only cool when we do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rules for thee, and not for me.
That's how the system works, apparently.
Yes. Speaking of the system working, let's move on to the next claim. 72 doses.
how many doses and how many vaccines do your children get? Major, I feel like you should know this.
Why? I sent you a screenshot. I am overdue on every recent vaccine I could be given.
Yeah,
which, for the record,
shouldn't you know?
For the record, I'm not.
An easy question you could ask at a doctor's appointment.
Hold on. All right. First off, what was your question?
Aren't you having a daughter? Shouldn't you know how many vaccines she's expected to get?
Yes. And they said they gave me 2 pamphlets and told me to look the rest up online. Right. Oh. This woman asked me if I want to get my pneumococcal virus vaccine that day. She was like, "Hey, are you interested in this pneumococcal whatever that vaccine?" And I was like, "No, but I'd love to talk more about this RFK JRE podcast that just happened." It was like 2 days after the podcast took place. Like the internet's blowing up and all this shit. And then the nurse just laughed at me. She's like, "Ha ha! I'll get you a pamphlet." Like, shut up! Are you kidding me? Like, oh, here, we're gonna make a ton of money. Yeah, we're gonna charge like God knows amount of money. This, and then your health insurance is going to cover 90% of it, right? Which is just paid for taxpayers. Anyway, 72 doses of 16 vaccines for his children. I'm pretty sure that's the schedule, but Patrick said I don't know how to prove this.
Did that happen for his children?
I think it'd be pretty easy to just check to see if his kids went to school. If you go to university,
if you go to school, you can just have a written note that you don't because.
No, you need vaccines. For a public university, you need medical records showing you're vaccinated. Oh, let's look this up. I could be wrong. What kind of woke-ass state do you live in? I'm sorry. My religion says we don't believe in polio.
Yeah, I think you can have just like a written note that you don't believe in it from your parents or whatever.
In college?
Like it's not like a strict...
I specifically remember being like, my college was like, you will not come in unless you're vaccinated. Let's see.
State vaccine requirements as of 2021. That's probably for COVID.
College and university campuses are at a higher risk for outbreaks of communicable diseases. State government and public health officials in 34 states and the District of Columbia have required the hepatitis B or meningococcal.
All states have
vaccinations.
Well, I'm talking about the exemptions. So all states and the District of Columbia allow for medical exemption, where they can't receive a vaccine for whatever reason, and all but 3 states offer non-medical exemptions for religious or philosophical reasons.
All but 3. Did they say the 3?
Yeah, all but no, they didn't mention which 3.
So, all the states, you can get a doctor's note. That makes sense. But all the states but 3 let you just write a note in?
Yeah, they say that it's for religious or philosophical.
Cool. I would like to, at this point in time, gentlemen, get a little bit outraged and point out the first case of polio in the Western Hemisphere, New York, 2022. All right?
Because people don't
Malaria has come back to Florida. Now, is that because Bill Gates last year released 50 million malaria tolerant mosquitoes? Who knows? But malaria is back in the States now. And now leprosy has come back to Florida. Okay? So
I heard, yeah.
Can we calm down with all these biblical plagues? All right? Like next thing you know, we're going to mad cows coming back to Florida.
You're going to get the actual plague.
Yeah. The Black Plague.
Bubonic.
This is weird. Like, yeah, according to the University of Business and Colleges, at least 40 states are requiring vaccines for students and facilities. It means 10 of them are not.
Crazy. So, for the claim, 72 doses of 16 vaccines for his children.
Yeah, I want to say true. Why would he lie about his kids? Plausible.
Like his family don't support him and his views.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. Let's see if any of his kids have come out and said they're not vaccinated. RFK Jr. kids not Vax. Oh, this is great. Let's see what the ABC News has to say. RFK says he's not anti-vaccine. His record shows the opposite.
I checked these already. They're not talking about his kids.
No. What are they
talking about his views.
Oh, sweet. Because I'm not reading it, but all I saw right now is RF Kennedy, Tucker Carlson, Stephen Bannon, and Michael Flynn, which I don't know what the article's about, but I'll tell you right now, that's not the best company to be compared or to be in a left-wing news article.
Is also not his child, so even as great as that would be, they're not from the same loins,
I guess. This next one's going to take us a little bit of time.
Also, I just want to say, and I can be wrong, and if I am wrong, please tell me how I'm wrong. Because, like, I'm not 1, I'm not 0. Look, I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm not up, I'm not down. I'm trying to be right. That's all I fucking care about, okay?
Yep.
So tell me this. If the man says he's not anti-vax, how are you going to continue to call him anti-vax?
Well, I keep saying anti-vax stuff.
But he's not anti-vax.
Like,
But does he say anti-vax stuff, or does
across the world
look
the deadliest toxins to add vaccines?
Okay, all right, but like, what if this was cars? Okay, what if this was cars, right? Like, Ford and GM like race across the world to find the deadliest chemicals to put in the cars, whatever, hyperbole, whatever. But like, nah, I forgot. That was such a dumb analogy. I forgot my point. But like,
It's like saying racist things, but then claiming you're not a racist.
But like that happens. Sometimes you're pissed off. Sometimes you're hungry. Sometimes you stub your toe. Sometimes you say something racist without being racist.
Goddamn Mexicans!
Oh, sorry, I was just hungry.
I'm sorry. No.
What's that have to do?
Patrick's not himself when he's hungry. Here, have a Snickers.
I'm not trying to make this into a Snickers commercial. No, but I'm saying is like, guys, look, after post-pandemic, let's be honest, post-pandemic, we are an angry country. We need to come together. We need to heal, right? So sometimes a motherfucker cuts you off, okay? And if that guy is fat, you're going to call him a fat ass. And if the guy is old, you're going to call him old as fuck. And if the guy is black, you're going to call him a nice person because you're a nice person. Okay? But, like, let's be honest, like, hate is in the American heart. We can try everything we can to suppress it, and we should. We should do better as people, right? But, like, if the man says he's not anti-vax, then I think we should take his word for him, all right? Until he says... I don't
listen to what anyone says. I listen to what they do.
Right. And what he's done, allegedly, is taking all the vaccines.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty anti-vax movements. With the, what is it? The child health...
Look. All right, how about this? All right, back to my analogy. Now I remember. Sorry, guys. Now I remember my... Amazing. I called it shit before. It's an amazing car analogy. Okay? What if we had concerns about the car, right? These cars are driving too fast. These cars don't have seatbelts. These cars aren't being tested by crash test dummies. All right?
These cars are electric.
Is he anti-car, or is he concerned about the safety of cars?
I see.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not anti-vax. He's concerned about the safety behind, or the lack of safety and the lack of safety trials behind the vaccines that we're pumping into our infants when they have the lowest amount of immune system responses, when they're at their most vulnerable, right? Like, look, if we can't give pregnant women tuna fish because of mercury, if we can't give pregnant women tuna fish because of mercury, then why can we give my baby mercury? Tell me there's 2 different mercuries. I'm too dumb to know the difference. Mercury's mercury. I don't give a shit, right? If it's ethanol gasoline or methanol gasoline, right? As long as it burns, Okay, like, look, you have to understand.
Well, I think we can agree
the public is
leaded
too
gas versus
stupid.
unleaded gas is
The
quite
public
different.
is too stupid because we've been defunding the education for 40 fucking years. Okay,
we have all this brain
maybe
damage from the mercury
or the lead which decreased. Yeah, sorry, there's too much lead in our water, in our gasoline. There's too much mercury in our vaccines. I can't understand the science.
And microplastics in us.
So I need pesticides and microplastics are a different podcast. That's a different series. All right, next. All right, so that's all I'm saying, guys. All I'm saying is, like, if the man says he's anti-vax, like, until he shows it, until he shows he's anti-vax. Hey, you know what? I'm anti. No,
you know I'll say he's maybe not anti-vax, but he's doing a lot of anti-vax stuff.
How about this? No, I'm anti-meth, and I will go around throwing meth away in toilets. Okay. Now, do I have some concerns around Adderall? Yes. Can I go into Congress and say a bunch of concerns around Adderall? Yes. But there's like a difference between those two, right? Like being anti-vax, you're going around people who are like anti-abortion.
I'm way off the rails now.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I just brought up abortion. Let's get back on track. Yeah.
All right. Claim DPT in 1979, killing or severe brain damage 1 out of 300 in the U.S. Pulled in the U.S. and Europe. Bill Gates sells it to Africa and South Asia. I don't know what he means by pulled because we still vaccinate for DPT.
No, it's the type of vaccine. We had a cheap vaccine we used in the States, and then we pulled it because it wasn't very safe. So now Bill Gates sells it to Africa and South Asia for that money because they don't have the same regulations.
Yeah.
Well, in 1979, there was a small cluster of 4 children in Tennessee who died after receiving the DPT shot. There was an investigation into the specific vaccine lot that they had, because all the vaccine from one the same place. Yep. They didn't find anything. And then, so apart from 4 children, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because a lot of these vaccination deaths or injuries are ascribed to SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. Basically, it's unexplained deaths of children who are under a year old. But in 1980, which is the furthest I could find back, it was 150 to 100,000 people, or 100,000, I think, live births of children, or 1 out of 653. And it has been declining ever since. And that actually sharp decline was largely attributed to the Back to Sleep campaign, which urged parents to help children sleep on their back so they wouldn't suffocate.
Big deal.
Declined quite a bit.
I have to tell you what, the number one message I received in my government funding military parenting classes. 1, natural birth. 2, don't put anything in that damn crib. Just no blankets, no pillow, nothing. Don't just put them on their back. Let them be.
Right.
Back to sleep. That's what they called it.
Yeah, there was also a lot of cats. Cradle death was common. Cats would sit on babies and suffocate them.
Wow.
Dude, cats. Yeah,
they're warm and stuff. Cats don't know what they're doing.
No, cats love to show you their buttholes. They love to shove it right in your face, and sometimes you don't have the arm strength to push them off of you, and that's how the cat gets you.
So be careful with your kids sleeping. It's probably more deadly than DPT, I guess.
So we found this to be false right here. It's not 1 out of 300. It's 1 out of 650. 1 out of 653.
Yeah, that's for all of SIDS, which, like I said, could be
everything.
Anything. And the only outbreak of DPT associated deaths were 4 children in Tennessee. So I don't know if he has some information he wants to share with us.
Yeah.
And just leave.
In person would be so amazing. I will.
That would be amazing.
I'm about to be. Yeah. If we can do some time, I'll fly out too. I'll fly my wife's about to give birth the first week of September, so let's do this quick. Or
sorry, babe, I have to go meet JFK.
I wish
JFK. That would be even better.
We just got flagged by every QAnon conspiracy theory. Patrick's going to meet JFK in Texas.
Yeah.
All right.
No! This next claim. The Danish government, go on. Let's talk about Morgensen.
Go ahead.
The Danish government Morgensen study published in eBiopharma, Peter A. B. with Siegfried Morgan.
Ooh.
It's a double claim slide. There's
yes.
two claims that kind of go together.
I'm gonna go ahead and insert the claim if I haven't already, just so everyone knows what we're talking about. All right, and then the Guinea-Bissau weighed children at every 3 months and 6 months. In 1980, DTP was introduced at 3 months old. It's not mentioned here in the slide, but specifically, it's a 90-day cutoff, right? So if you're at 89 days, you're not, right? If it's over 90, you're there. If you want to listen to the whole thing, we've got the video, right? DTP was introduced at 3 months old, 30 years of data where half were vaccinated and half were unvaccinated. And that's just due to the children when they were tested. About half of them were at the 3 month period, and about half of them were before 3 months. So that's where they got the data from, allegedly. Girls who had the DTP vaccines were 10 times more likely to die over the next 3 months, dying of pneumonia mainly. Research said the vaccine is most certainly killing these kids because it's ruining the immune system and they can't fight against these minor diseases. So they're getting vaccinated for DTP, but then they're dying to smaller diseases like pneumonia, the flu, common cold, stuff like that. You know,
and that stuff won't show
minor
up in,
diseases.
Most tests or be attributed to vaccine death or injury.
I guess no. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up the schedule for because it'll come up in later slides. What's it called? The National Vaccine Act, whatever, Childhood Vaccine Act or National Vaccine Act. Yeah, all of them are like within 48 hours you have to be injured.
Wow.
So like every one of them is like a shoulder injury, and then there's a couple with like DPT or DTP has a provision for fevers or seizures and stuff, encephalitis, I think, which is swelling of the brain.
Did you see this study here?
If we continue on to the next slide, there's information on it.
Oh, perfect. Excellent.
Okay, yeah. I combined the two claims on one slide and then did stuff on the next.
Oh, there's Morgensen.
True. Yeah. The mortality in that study was 10x for girls. The sample size was rather small. I think it's like 1,000 people total.
Wow.
But it was a 30-year study or whatever, because it just came out in 2017. I found some WHO.
I have 2018.
2000. No,
I have
it came out in 2017.
I have it published online. Sorry, published online 2018.
Yeah, here it is. Morgensen 2017.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Just slow on the upload, I guess. Thanks, NCBI.
Where was I? Oh yeah, WHO had multiple studies done, but back in like 2004. So this study hadn't come out yet. The WHO declared that it was fine. But this study disagrees, and it's pretty damning, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't a whole lot of studies like it because it's 30 years.
Can I read this conclusion to
I
you
don't
guys?
see why they couldn't, because it's 3 to 5 months. I don't know.
Yep, sure.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Although having better nutritional status and being protected against 3 infections, 3 to 65-month-old DTP vaccinated children tended to have higher mortality than DTP unvaccinated children. All studies of the induction of DTP have found increased overall mortality.
Yep.
Wow.
And they also did combined with OPV, which is the oral polio vaccine.
Oh,
which
I see it here.
We talked about in other slides, is that the oral polio vaccine actually helped the DTP or helped mortality. So people who got both were better off than people who only got DTP. And the oral polio virus actually isn't even that good of a vaccine because it's alive, and it sometimes comes back and mutates and stuff like that. So
just because I cited this earlier, and I said to go look at, go back and listen to the video or whatever, but it's right here, right? Children who were just over 3 months old at the time of the tri-monthly weighing sessions were vaccinated. Those who were just below 3 months would only be vaccinated for the first time at 6 months of age. Right? What a crazy accidental study.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is what a petri dish of penicillin. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, it's good that these things are actually being like looked into, sort of, but
yeah,
they need a lot more because, like, you said the sample size of this was 1,000 people. It needs to be way more than that.
And
also,
like, it's only in small African communities.
Yeah.
They do have the there's some sort of database for vaccines, so I think they are trying to look into it. But as we'll potentially get into later,
yeah,
they might all be in the pocket of the big pharma companies. So,
Mike, cough, cough. That's hilarious. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and recap this. What a fantastic fact-finding mission. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and recap this real fast. Thank you so much for joining us for claims 27 through 33. Let's go ahead and break this down real fast. In RFK said in 2023, the CDC scientist Picario gave tuna sandwiches. What Picario? We couldn't find him. We couldn't find the study or the scientist. We gave that a false. Please, RFK, come back. Let us know what you're talking about. You talked about an NIH commissioned study by Thomas Burbacher in Seattle with monkeys. That turned out to be true. That was about ethylmercury and methylmercury. Next claim we checked out was the secret meeting of Simpsonwood in 2000. And what a crazy discovery that was. That's absolutely 100% true and deserves its own podcast all by itself.
Well, I mean, it is true that there was a meeting, but
yes,
what was talked about in there?
That's what the podcast. That's what the podcast all by itself. That's what the other podcast is all for.
Yeah, well, if you guys, we'll do another podcast.
If you guys want to do this, if you guys want a podcast about that, we'll dive deep. Let us know. The next claim: 72 doses of 16 vaccines for his children. We're going to say plausible. As a soon-to-be father, I think he's telling the truth. We can check to see if his kids go to school. Although we disagreed about that because of the state requirements and such. So, you know, due to HEPA requirements, I'm just going to have to take his word on that. But that's not how science works. So we're going to say plausible, not true. The claim. Department in 1979 killing or severe brain damage 1 out of every 300 in the U.S. Or sorry, not department, DPT. Uncapitalized DPT. That is false. That is not true. It was not 1 out of 300, but we found closer to 1 out of 653 for SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, not specifically towards mercury or severe brain damage, right? Just all random acts of terrible deaths. Sorry, the final claim. The Danish government with Morganson studied or published a study. We just looked into that. What an absolutely fascinating study. That was 100% true. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Next time, we will check out the next 5 claims, 33 through 37, 38. We'll see how many slides are combined together. If you want to join us, click subscribe, click like, tweet at us if you have any questions. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us. Peace. Bye, everyone. All right, so that's the video. We are still live, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Do we have anyone watching? We should check that.
I was looking earlier and...
Not according to my mini feed, but I feel like it's appropriate.
Wait, I'll go watch us right now.
Can you go watch us and double check? You should have been watching us the whole time.
Yeah.
I was watching us earlier.
Train versus Giant Pit. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I do like our screenshot this time.
Just me.
I'm watching.
It says one watching on me, one viewer, one like.
What'd you search to find us?
Poltergeist-YT.
Yeah, that's why I searched -YT.
And then we should be one of the.
That one there. 3 subscribers, 2 videos.
3 subscribers. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good thumbnail.
Let's change our
Oh no, it's so Inception. Look, there's us here. All right, now. All right, bye guys.
See ya.
I just want to check. There are no chats. Awesome.